Welcome back. Let's start with cloud computing and understanding AWS. So the cloud computing refers to delivering IT resources over internet. So when I say IT resources, it means delivering storage, database, virtual machines, identity access management services over the internet. So traditionally, if you have to build all those things, you have to buy your own space, set up your own infrastructure, and then make use of the IT resources. But now with the cloud computing, you can access them over the internet and you can provision them through the web console or other options which are available. Now the top cloud service provider, as you can see on the screen, so AWS is currently the top cloud service provider. It is holding around 30% of the cloud market. Then you have Azure, which is offered by Microsoft, which is currently a second top cloud service provider. Then you have GCP offered by Google Cloud, and then there are others as well which are holding around 35 to 37% of the overall cloud utilization. So you have other providers like Alibaba or Oracle, IBM, etc. So now the cloud revenue, as per some of the experts, the cloud revenue expected to reach 2 trillion by 2030. And if you go with the experts, they're expecting that 70% of the tech workload will run on cloud by the year 2028. Now let's understand the different cloud strategy you can deploy to implement your resources. So one is the public cloud. So the public cloud, they are the cloud services offered by third-party providers like AWS, Azure. Those are the third-party providers. They are offering public cloud. You just need to use them and pay as per use. So they are very low and no maintenance, because most of the maintenance will be done by the third party. You don't need to worry about them. The payment, yes, you can just use the services and pay for it. You don't need to give any upfront cost. You don't need to provision any infrastructure and pay for the hardware cost. You just use the services which are available on the cloud and just pay for it. It offers highly scalable solution. That means if you are running out of resources and you need additional, let's say, storage, you need additional servers, you don't need to worry about purchasing them. It is already available. You just on a couple of click you can add, or rather through an automated manner you can scale your infrastructure to any number of servers you want. They offer multi-tenancy. That means whatever infra resources you are using, that can be used by other tenants as well. So it's a shared security model. That means you need to maintain the security, as well as the public cloud provider also responsible for maintaining the security of it. It is less flexible compared to other cloud offerings we have. That means you have less control over the cloud environment. Mostly you will use the way it is being provided by the cloud service provider. So now let's see private cloud. It's like hosting on premise or using a hosted infrastructure. It involves high infrastructure cost, because you have to procure all the hardware and all, and then set it up. It is highly secure, because now it's a single tenant. You are managing your own infrastructure, and then you can deploy your own security practices the way you want. You have a greater control over the environment, and it is mostly dedicated to a single organization. Okay, the only problem with this is it's a costly, and it's very difficult to scale. So if you are running out of resources, you have to procure the resources and then make it available to your applications. So these are the challenges which the private cloud has. But then there's another model, hybrid cloud. Okay, so it takes both public and private cloud. You have some resources running on public cloud, you have some resources running on the private cloud. One example could be like you have a database which has very critical information, and you are not sure that you want it to host on the public cloud. So you will host it under the private cloud. You will have your app running on the public cloud, and then you have set up the integration among them, and then that will give you a hybrid cloud architecture. The problem with this, that this will have an additional complexity in your architecture. Okay, the good thing about is that the cloud bursting is possible. The cloud bursting means that if you want to scale, you can utilize resources from the public cloud. That makes it little scalable as compared to the private cloud. This can be expensive, because then again you have to maintain your private cloud and you have to take care of the maintenance and procurement part. Okay, so now the world has evolved, and now from the cloud strategy perspective, many companies are now going towards the multi-cloud strategy. So what is multi-cloud? Now AWS might be offering certain services which are very very good, and then you have some services offered by Azure and GCP. Okay, so what multi-cloud does, that it takes best of all these service provider, it orchestrates them and comes up with a multi-cloud architecture. Okay, so it is now companies are mostly preferring this particular structure, where they don't want to go with the one cloud provider. They want to use some services from one provider, some from other, and then they want to integrate everything. So now let's understand AWS. So it's an Amazon Web Service. As the name suggests, this cloud offering is given by the Amazon. Okay, you don't need to pay any upfront cost. It's a public cloud offering. You use the services and pay as per the use in most of the services offered by AWS. It is one of the current market leader in providing the cloud services. There are many top companies who are using AWS, like Netflix, Airbnb, Disney. They use the core AWS services for their infrastructure setup. It was set up, the AWS was it came into picture somewhere around 2006. It is great for building website applications and for AI, ML, big data, DevOps services. Now it has around 120 availability zone as of now, which are deployed across 38 regions. Okay, so just to understand the availability zone in regions. So regions are their physical location around the world where AWS clusters the data centers. Okay, and the availability zone, it is like one or more discrete data center with redundant power, networking, and connectivity in AWS region. In each availability zone, they hold one or more data centers. So data center is actually a physical location where you have physically set up your infrastructure. Okay, so this is about, like, this is how AWS manages the resources. So it takes one location as a region. In the region there it has multiple availability zone. So availability zone helps them help them to build an highly reliable and highly available application, so that if one zone fails out, you still have another zone available on that region to serve the traffic. So we talked about various AWS services. Now understand how do we access them. So there are 4 ways we can access the AWS services. So one of them is AWS console. It's a web interface offered by AWS. You just log in with your credentials and then access the resources, provision the resources, modify the resources. So all those can be done through the web application itself. Second one is the AWS CLI. So AWS offers the command line interface. You just install them on your personal laptop, on your Windows machine, your Unix servers, and then you can access the AWS services through various AWS commands. But to access them, you need AWS credentials. You need to configure the credentials, then only you can access the services for the particular account. The third one is the AWS SDK. You can access AWS programmatically as well. AWS offers client libraries for different languages that you can use to access the services. So one of them is like Boto3, which is a popular SDK for Python. The fourth one is the AWS Cloud Shell. So this is available on the console itself. You just open it and it will open an browser integrated command line interface, and it is a pre-authenticated, like you don't need to provide credentials here. It will take your credentials which you have used to log into Cloud Shell, and that again you can run the commands over here to access your resources. So let's start exploring AWS console. So this is the AWS URL which you are going to access. So let me log into my account. So this will require an account ID, which is a unique ID given to each and every AWS account, and we would need a credential to log in. Let me log into my account here. Yep. So this is the AWS console interface. This is the few things that I would like to inform here. You can see a recently visited services. So when you log in first time, you won't see them because that will be the first time you would be connecting to the AWS console. Since I have already visited all those services, they are reflecting over here. So this is the region where I have connected to. So I am currently under the Mumbai region, and if you want to work on AWS services, if you want to access any of the services, you need to select the right region. So the console works as per the region, and if you want to access any resources, since if let's say if I want to access resources in Sydney, I cannot access them by being in Mumbai. I have to switch it, change it, and then I can access the resources which are there. Okay, and then you can see some of the details here. You can see the account ID which I have used to connect. You can see the IAM user which I have used. There are other details also you can see here. Okay, you can see this icon, right? So this is the icon for Cloud Shell. So we talked about Cloud Shell. If we clicked on it, it will load a Cloud Shell, and now it won't require credentials. It is using my own credentials which I have used to connect to console, right? And again, I don't need to install any AWS CLI here. It already has AWS CLI. So if I can do AWS S3 LS, which is a command to list the S3 bucket, it will list the S3 bucket which are there in my account as of now under this particular region. Okay, let me close this one. You can see a search icon. You can see search for various services on the console. For example, you can search for EC2 and you can access them. The EC2 services will be open. You can launch an instance from here. You can configure many more things from here. Okay, other thing is, if you have any notification, you will get it from AWS, your own notification. You have some setting icon you can use to change the dark mode, light mode, all those things. Okay, in the left side as well, you can just click on all the services and you can see the services by category, and you can choose the services from here as well. So if you're not sure on what to search, you can also go here and look for the services under various categories, under compute, under containers, under storage, and all those things. And this is also one option. You can click on this icon and you can see various categories under various services, rather, under various categories. You can choose them and work on them. Yeah, so this was a quick walkthrough of the console. In the next session, we'll see how do we get access to the console and how do we actually do something with the AWS services. Thanks all watching this video. We'll meet again with the next session. Thank you.